have been looking for your scoring opportunities. Let's see how Wallace goes in his first attempt against Cliff Robinson.
Wallace goes up high, can't hit. Longley clears to Chapman. 3 rebounds already for Luke Longley.
The Phoenix Suns have always been known as a high-energy, high-explosive team, and they're going to rely on Jason Kidd to create that for them, either passing or scoring.
Chapman misses from the corner. Wallace skies for the rebound. You saw Jason Kidd backing down the smaller Stoudemire for a moment. Then he passed it up. Here's Gugliotta with a steal. Longley. And Wallace with another rebound.
I think for both teams, they want to try to find a place to quick strike and score easily. Stoudemire got to the rim, and that one was below the rim. I don't know what kind of juice they had on it because that wasn't supposed to go in. He's calling for a foul, but he gets his first 2.
Able to spin it in despite what he said was a hack on the arm. Damon Stoudemire, who went to Portland Wilson High School, won a couple of state championships there. Went off to play college basketball in Arizona, to Toronto in the NBA, and back home. Kidd for 3. Jason Kidd has worked diligently on his outside shooting. That one wouldn't go, but Cliff Robinson with an offensive rebound.
Cliff has not looked to shoot the ball yet. Gets his first one to go in for Danny Ainge and the Sun. That's a terrific sign because Cliff in past playoff series has struggled offensively, and they can talk about his defense. This is a guy that loves some offense, and if his offense is going good, his entire game picks up.
Well, that's been the problem, as you said. In playoffs, his average has been some 6 points less than regular season over the years.
Not a good decision by Sabonis. Tried to force it. Kidd trying to bust loose.
Luke Longley. Sabonis got a piece of it and gathers the rebound. Here's the outlet to Ryder. 3-on-2 Blazers. Ryder puts it up and in.
The strength of Ryder right there. He's a power player and used his power to wait for the defense to make a decision. Ryder calling for the crowd to get in it.
Gugliotta spinning on Grant. There's the help from Sabonis. And the steal by Wallace. Sabonis past Stoudemire's, fouled by Robinson. Well, the soft hands of Arvydas Sabonis and his inside passing ability.
Well, aggressiveness is what will be the hallmark of this afternoon. Look at that ball. Handle forward.
Yeah,
how do you get that on a basketball? Ryder coming down, waiting for the defense, and then drives it right through Rex Chapman for his second bucket. Portland coming back with some good passing in a breaking situation. Stoudemire the foul to Robinson, the victim. He misses his first.
Stoudemire averaged 15 points in the 3 games against Phoenix this season, averaging 12 on the year regular season. The smallest ever NBA Rookie of the Year when he played with the Toronto Raptors. Damon Stoudemire, 5'10", and he gives the Blazers a 2-point lead. Portland outrunning Phoenix, which is unusual. Phoenix likes to run. They've gotten 5-0 fast break points. Jason Kidd. Kidd's first bucket ties the game at 8. Stoudemire and Kidd matched up. They have been rivals since college.
They were trying to get the ball to Sabonis. Sabonis likes it on the move. He doesn't get it on the move with Longley draped all over him. Going to be tough.
Robinson got a piece of Ryder's shot, scramble for it. Gugliotta saves it inbounds. Here's Chapman. Back to Gugliotta, streaking for the jam. 4 points for Gugliotta off the good pass from Chapman. And Phoenix back up by a deuce. And Portland will take a timeout.
The thing about the Phoenix Suns is they have a lot of different places where they can score, and this time, as Jason Kidd showing you, he does have a jump shot, and Tom Gugliotta with authority with 2 hands over.
You're going to get healthy. I'm not listening to you. I don't even ask you if you're healthy. I'm watching to see if you're healthy from now on.
And Rex is playing and is 1 of 2 to start the game and is a key figure if Phoenix has a chance to upset the Trailblazers.
Now, the Phoenix Suns feel, and they played very well against the Trailblazers, but they have not been able to close them out down the stretch, and they feel if they can get ahead and be assertive early, they can steal a game 1 here at the Rose Garden. So they've got a lot of energy looking for Kidd against the clock.
Kidd with a quick turnaround, rebounded by Sabonis. Second board for the big man. Here's Stoudemire in a hurry. Right by Kidd. Missed the shot. Couldn't finish it. Gugliotta clears.
They've always said about a left-handed guy, he can't eat if he has to go to his right. And Stoudemire really overlaid that one, but that was a terrific effort to get to the rim.
So Stoudemire comes away hungry. And now Kidd trying to post him up. Again, the size advantage. Kidd is 6'4". Stoudemire only 5'10". Back outside, Gugliotta penetrates. The pull-up, no good. Sabonis again right there for his third rebound.
Now, they've been able to limit them to one shot and a shot against the clock, and a tough one at that. Now Portland's got to be able to come back and find some way to score inside, looking for Wallace against Robinson.
Low post, turns on Cliff, faces up now, backing down. Baseline drive, Wallace the reverse and air ball. There's Chapman for the rebound.
This is supposed to be the Western Conference, isn't it? High scoring, and they're missing. Jason Kidd, in and out, finally falls.
Jason Kidd records his 4th point, and the Phoenix lead is 4. Phoenix hitting 6 of their first 14. Only 9 shots for Portland so far. One of the keys, said Danny Ainge, was limiting Portland's easy baskets, second chance points off the offensive board. Gugliotta fouls Grant.
Whenever they can get the floor spread, the Phoenix Suns are very dangerous. They like to bring it to the rim with Jason Kidd, because if he doesn't score, he's going to try to find someone who can score. This time, the left hand works for him.
Brian Grant. This is the first one. Log on to NBA.com for breaking news, video highlights, real-time scores, stats, and live radio broadcasts for every NBA game, only a mouse click away. That's NBA.com, your ultimate online resource for all things NBA. Grant hits the second free throw. Back home in Cincinnati, they call him the General. Brian Grant from the same hometown, Georgetown, Ohio, as General Ulysses Grant. Gugliotta wide open, top of the key, rimmed out. Sabonis ruling the defensive boards now for Portland.
Again, the idea for Portland is to try to find something on that front line. Wallace trying to work his way around. That was a tougher shot. That one goes in.
How'd he do that? There was all kinds of traffic around there, and he muscled it up and threw his first basket. Gugliotta, nice fake. Couldn't get away from Grant. Robinson for 3. Long rebound to Grant. Outlet Stoudemire. Phoenix back on defense, but Ryder takes it right to the rim and scores.
Somehow we ought to be giving points for a degree of difficulty in basketball, because this one goes up there. He can't see the rim. Got to get it up and under the arm. Nice little action. And Ryder in the open court. This is one of the tougher shots they hit on the move. A little hesitation and a chance for a three-point play.
Well, you heard Paul Sunderland talking about J.R. Ryder. Mike Dunleavy saying his attitude was all important to the team. On time today and on time in the first quarter. 7 points so far for J.R. Ryder, who some have said spends as much time in the police lineup as he does the Trailblazers lineup.
Augment in the ball game. Wallace coming out. So they got Wallace going. They pick up a personal foul against Stoudemire on the block against Rex Chapman. New 24 for the Phoenix Suns.
Stacey Augmon, the defensive specialist. 21 starts for him this season. He leads the NBA in steal to turnover ratio. Cliff Robinson, nice move. The jump hook finds the net for his 4th point. And the Suns have tied it at 14.
They try to find Sabonis, who's yet to get any action scoring in the first quarter. Low hook goes in.
That was an odd-looking off-balance shot. Sabonis, of course, his leaping times are long gone. He was able to just sort of face halfway to the basket and loft the soft hook. 2 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds for the big man. Rex Chapman misses the shot. Grant all alone for the rebound.
When you're a jump shooting team like Phoenix is, a lot of the time, if you quick shoot it and you don't score it, the other team's going to get it, run it back on you. Good rebound, Robinson and the Sun.
Jason Kidd.
Wow.
Crossover dribble right around Ryder, but Grant blocked it. Loose ball, Sabonis. Here's Ryder, 2-on-2. Augmon.
That was a terrific change of pace by Jason Kidd and a better reaction by Grant to make the save. He went right by Ryder, was right at the rim, and it turned out to be an easy 2 for Stacey Augmon.
Pick and roll. Longley from Gugliotta draws the foul from Brian Grant.
Jason Kidd on his way to the rim thought he was free, and Grant knocked it away, made a save, and that sent Portland in a track meet the other way. And once Ryder got the ball, he's got pretty good vision and a good decision. Augmon with 2 hands over the top. So they're in this one right now by accomplishing that task.
George McLeod on the floor for Phoenix. Portland has gone on a 10-2 run the last 2 minutes. Longley. Sabonis might have gotten a piece. Portland takes it the other way. Stoudemire back out to Ryder. Looking inside for Grant, being fronted by Gugliotta. Now in position. There's the entry pass. Grant, the jump stop, and the bucket. That was a tough one. Bodies all around, and he got his 4th point.
Good patience by Grant that time to get that opportunity. A lot of times he'll rush that shot, but he stayed under control, got it to fall. Back to Cliff Robinson against Augmon.
Got around him, couldn't finish. Gugliotta the offensive rebound. Launches one, and Sabonis clears. That's 6 rebounds for Arvydas Sabonis. Stoudemire. Back rim, long rebound to Gugliotta. He leads the break. He's got Robinson in front. And he's fouled as he takes it to the basket.
Portland is a more physical team, and Phoenix is trying to show that they're not going to be pushed around. As you take a look at the power forward matchup between Gugliotta and Grant. Grant will eventually win it, but it's hard work to get this one done, and he scores inside. So Robinson was fouled in the open court by Stacey Augmon.
First foul on Augmon. As Cliff Robinson, as you see that disparity between the regular season numbers and the career playoff numbers.
And every player wants to be noted for great playoff play. And that's been really the knock against Cliff Robinson. Great regular season player, has been able to deliver the goods. That's what he's been fighting. He gets 1 or 2 free throws a year.
What's that saying again?
You make your game in the regular season, you get your fame in the playoffs.
Does that count for announcers too?
Oh, we got to get fame this time.
Sabonis at long range. Grant. Second time in a row, he's taken it right to Gugliotta, and he has a half dozen points. Final seconds of the first quarter, and Portland building a 7-point lead.
And Dunleavy would have to be happy with this team's defensive energy, their rebounding, and their patience over the last 4 minutes at the offensive end.
McLeod for 3. A much-needed bucket for the Phoenix Suns by George McLeod, his first shot of the game. He, of course, is in the top 10 in three-point percentage in the NBA. That shot will end the first quarter. J.R. Ryder had a big first quarter. 7 points. And Isaiah is the leading scorer in the game. At the end of one, it's Portland leading Phoenix 22-18. They end the quarter on a 14-6 run from the Rose Garden in Portland. The NBA on NBC.
It is not whether you fall down. It is whether you get back up.
3, that's the number for both teams, winning away and at home.
Greg Anthony is on for Portland, and Jim Jackson is out there too. Rasheed Wallace has returned as Sabonis reverses it through. Randy Livingston, Pat Garrity, and Danny Manning on the floor in the Phoenix lineup.
Randy Livingston just signed, and so there's a lot of pressure on him to try to deliver some quality play in a short period of time.
In fact, Livingston had a ticket for Venezuela He got a call at 6 a.m. from the Suns and said, "Can you come to us now to be our backup point guard?" He'd already paid for the ticket, but he says, "You know what? Somebody else can use that ticket. I'm going to Phoenix."
I think he asked for a refund from the Phoenix Suns.
Garrity in traffic is fouled. Garrity, the rookie from Notre Dame.
Sabonis is a player that really does get a lot of mileage out of a body that's very bruised and battered, and this time spins away from Luke Longley to score his first bucket of the second quarter. But he doesn't, as big as he is, he does not like people laying all over him, and I'm sure Luke Longley knows that and will try to just live on his back the entire afternoon. Danny Manning.
Manning, of course, is the walking medical miracle as Livingston gets it to Longley. And a foul is called on Portland. And Danny Manning is the only professional athlete that anyone has ever heard of that has come back from 3 ACL surgeries. Foul was on Sabonis, his first.
The second unit of the Trailblazers is really what has made their success all season long. McCall looking for another hoop. Won't stay.
Sabonis just pinned it against the glass, then took down number 7.
Trying to find Wallace against Garrity. Get a hold inside. You can tell when Sabonis is in it just by the way that he rebounds defensively. One hand goes up. Put some stickum on it. Make sure we get it.
Had Garrity committing his first foul.
Another one inside.
Well, his second foul, excuse me. Got to talk faster.
They give that one to Livingston on the screen, but both of those players in an interchange, and Portland trying to get the ball to Wallace against a smaller Garrity.
There it is. Goes right over him, but can't finish the shot. Got his own. Missed again. This time it's rebounded by Livingston.
Now they're going to get a foul against Wallace in the backcourt. A little pop on the shoulder of Garrity, and that's more frustration. He had 2 chances inside, wanted to call, didn't get it. Looked at the guy that was guarding him and said, "Okay, then you take it."
Well, one of the things Mike Dunleavy has called for from his team in the postseason is poise, and Rasheed Wallace losing his there for a moment and picking up a needless foul.
Now, he's a very emotional player as he is talking to the official now, but they need him to stay under wraps. We take a look at the play. Garrity coming out, Wallace with a little pork chop.
Both these teams trying to change recent history. Phoenix lost in the first round 3 straight years. Portland has gone out 6 straight in the first round. Gugliotta drew the double team. Manning, Danny Manning, the floater, his first basket.
You know, Manning's equally as remarkable as Sabonis in that they have really been tattered and torn, and to be able to come out and play at a world-class level and do some of the things they still do, it's amazing. Looking for Sabonis, and Longley keeps him at bay.
Jackson got a step on McLeod. Manning with a help defense. Here's Augmon.
They're going to give Augmon perimeter shots.
That's why.
He is, you know, he's improved, but just the book is still make him beat you from the outside. Anthony on a steal.
But he didn't wait for his teammates. He launched instead, 1-on-3. And now Phoenix to McLeod, who lays it in easily. So Anthony, instead of waiting for his teammates, missed the shot, leading to a bucket on the other end for the Suns.
Two-point ball game again. A screen across and looking for Rasheed Wallace, being guarded by Gugliotta right now. Wallace looking at the clock.
Gugliotta taking up the defense on Wallace. Livingston a brief double team, and Portland throws it away.
The Phoenix Suns want to try to get the high percentage shot, so they're going to try to drive the ball as much as they can. And as I said, this is a difficult shot. Danny Manning off the glass with a finish. And the first rule of defense is get you the guy with the ball. Anthony doesn't get there in time, and it's an easy 2 for George McLeod.
But he is big.
Well, they cover it all. See, if you're big, you're long, you're athletic, you get everybody in that group. Pressure by Portland.
Phoenix has hit 2 of 3 shots in the quarter. Portland only 1 of 5.
Well, the newness of Livingston out on the floor certainly hasn't hurt him. George McLeod looking for a 3, aired it out.
McLeod, who hit a three earlier with the air ball there, with a look of disbelief. Thought perhaps he was nicked on the elbow as he put it on its way.
You always look that way when you hit nothing.
Well, it was nothing but net. Nothing but net. As it hit the outside of the net. Grant spinning on Gugliotta. That shot has been there for him all day. The jump hook that time, the turnaround a couple of other occasions, and he has 8 points.
Terrific start for Grant, and he's getting too deep a position against Gugliotta. Manning.
Outside shot by Manning is no good. Jackson the rebound.
In an open court game for Dunleavy, the concern will be turnovers and shot selection. This team can get happy, try to make too many spectacular plays, foul against George McLeod. Notice the position. See that dotted line? That's too deep right there. And if you get that deep, you're going to get punished, and that's what Grant does to Gugliotta. He's got to get them further away. Perfect from the field, 3 of 3.
Sabonis to Anthony on the skip pass. Had a foot on the line, but missed anyway. Cloud with a rebound, brings it into front court to Livingston. Blazers by 4. Gugliotta double team for a moment. Anthony then backs off. Livingston calling for it. Cuts to the basket. Out of bounds. Phoenix gets it back with 5 to shoot.
Danny Ainge reminding these guys with 5 seconds on the shot clock, wanting to get it up and down. Sabonis has had a very good run. Is going to get his first break of the afternoon, but he has been active offensively and defensively. When you see him in the passing lane, the big cat, and you know he's the big cat. He's really involved.
And Kelvin Cato replacing Sabonis. Cato 6'11" in his second season from Iowa State.
Robinson and Chapman back in the lineup. Livingston looking for the quick score.
Couldn't finish it. Rebounded by Grant. Anthony and Jackson out there for Portland, and Jackson lays it in from Anthony. 2 of the players that have sacrificed their minutes for team success with the Trailblazers this season. Both were starters, of course, before coming to Portland.
Well, Jackson at Dallas averaged 25 a game and got nothing but abuse for doing so. Now he's in the playoffs, and he feels that that will all change, and it usually does. If you're on a winning team, people begin to think of you in totally different terms.
Livingston got the roll.
Tough runner.
First basket for Randy Livingston. Former LSU Tiger. Just signed and put on the playoff roster.
When he was with the Rockets, Tom Janovich loved him, but he was rehabilitating from some knee injuries, never really got a chance to play.
Knee problems plaguing him from his days in Baton Rouge on into the NBA. Anthony beats the shot clock, but misses it. And Gugliotta gives it up to Chapman. Driving and fouled by Jackson. And we've got a timeout with 6:26 left in the second quarter. Portland continues to lead Phoenix. It's 28-24. Throw shooter throughout his career in college at Kentucky and in the NBA. He's the son of a coach. His dad, Wayne, played in the ABA for Kentucky, Denver, and Indiana, and coached Kentucky Wesleyan to a NCAA Division II championship. So spent a lot of time in the gyms growing up, a lot of times at ABA games, and has been a good shooter throughout his career.
Well, Rex is one of those guys that is terrific, and that was a great play by Robinson to get a piece of the block, and somehow it went in for Kelvin Cato.
First bucket for Cato, and Anthony, a backcourt foul of Jason Kidd. Number 2 on Greg Anthony. Like Darrell Armstrong, Anthony has taken to having a couple of cups of coffee to pump up his energy before the game and after each quarter. And a little too much energy there. This is the Pacific Northwest, so it's not unusual to see people going to the coffee, is it? In fact, I think Bryant Grant has taken up the coffee drinking before a game, too.
Yeah, but, with Armstrong, it has a special effect. And I think it has a special effect with Anthony. I think Grant is just trying to wake up,
I think the difference is up here in the Northwest, they like their coffee. Anthony puts about 8 packets of sugar in his.
Manning with 2 free throws.
Damon Stoudemire is returned at the point for the Trailblazers. Jackson trying to get it in to Grant, and it's a kick by Cliff Robinson. Recycle the 24.
You know, we talked about Portland's bench, and one of the things that Danny Ainge has is some very potent bench players in Danny Manning, George McLeod, and when those guys are cooking along with Garrity, they can give Portland some problem and concern as they reset the clock. Jackson against Kidd.
Turnaround no good. Rebounded by Cato, and he's fouled by Cliff Robinson.
Second personal against Cliff Robinson. The first time he was able to block the shot and it still went in. This time he had to get there to keep Cato from getting up, so he picks his second personal foul.
Cliff Robinson, who spent 8 years in Portland and went to the finals twice with the Blazers, now in a Suns uniform. First free throw good. Don't forget, next on NBC, Game 3 of this NBA on NBC playoff triple header as the Kings visit the Delta Center to battle the Utah Jazz. What's the over-under on Jason Williams behind-the-back passes today?
How many, or will he make any?
Or will he connect? I see. Game 3 of our triple header coming up from Salt Lake City next.
Cato with both the free throws.
Kelvin Cato off the bench, giving Mike Dunleavy some production. There's a shuffle of the feet by Danny Manning, and Dick Bavetta nailed him.
He's telling Dick, I had 3 ACLs. I can't make that move anymore.
The fact that he can shuffle his feet is amazing.
Turnovers are down for both teams that like to run and try to get up and down. They've taken pretty good care of the ball here in the first 24 minutes. Going to get a foul, this one against Grant. You know, it's big men don't like to get out of the way. If you get in their way, then you're going to pay. Robinson also learned over the years. There's a little Hollywood in this one. Good job of drawing the officials' attention to it, and Suns have possession.
Chapman, long pass for Gugliotta, and a beauty. Gugliotta mugged underneath by Cato. Cato took the worst of it, too, I think, with a finger in the eye.
And Gugliotta, he's not happy. He's running over like he might have dislocated something immediately right at the trainer right there.
Yep.
He's in a lot of pain, too.
Pop it back into place.
It's not any good when you pop it back into place. This is a good lead, and Cato recognizes it, but he's a little late in getting there. Bang, right across the head and the hand, and Cato I think he got hit in the head. Maybe with the forehead of Gugliotta, but one more look at the play as he spins inside. The defense is late. Elbow. That's what got him.
Cato airborne. And both Gugliotta and Kelvin Cato come away the worse for wear. Gugliotta has the finger popped back into place and hits the first free throw. And Cato, the offensive force, he scored the last 4 Portland points. That's one above his per-game average. He'll go to the bench now.
That means Wallace, Williams, and Grant play up front.
Walt Williams replacing Cato. Williams 4th in the NBA in three-point percentage. That's his shot. Free throws make it a 2-point game. Gugliotta has a half dozen and 6 rebounds. He jumps out on the switch to stop Stoudemire's penetration.
They're posting Grant against Robinson, who's got 3 fouls, 6 on the shot clock. Quick spin inside.
All down by Gugliotta. That's his 7th board. He led Phoenix in both scoring and rebounding in the regular season.
It's a tough matchup for Walt Williams against Danny Manning because Manning's got this little hook shot that he likes to throw up.
What about that one?
Well, that's an off-balance one, but again, Manning showing you that even with the damaged legs, he's still a potent scorer inside.
6 points. We're tied at 32. J.R. Ryder against Rex Chapman.
Ryder was very aggressive in the first part of the ball game, coming back in against Chapman, overpowering him, gets 2, first 2 of the second quarter.
And for JR, 9 in the game. Kidd trying to back Stoudemire down.
Not a good matchup for the Trailblazers when Stoudemire switches off. Tough shot, Chapman.
Made a good fake to get open, but then couldn't hit the shot. And a loose ball foul called on Grant of Portland. That's number 3 on Grant.
Whenever Danny Manning can get the ball down here, try to break you down, he's either looking for this fall away one-legger or he's going to come with the hook shot. Ryder bullying his way against Rex Chapman for his first 2 of the second quarter.
Danny Manning, former college player of the year for Kansas when Larry Brown took them to the national championship. 7 points now as Grant leads the game with 3 fouls, replaced by Cato. So Brian Grant, in disgust, goes to the bench, and Cato shaking off the effects of that Gugliotta elbow back into the game.
Well, the one thing that Grant gives them is energy and physical presence on the front line. He didn't want to sit down. 3:45 to go, and we have a timeout. Looks like a 20-second timeout.
Grant, who is the Trailblazers' leading rebounder, sits with 3 fouls. Next Sunday on NBC, a runaway train carrying a Russian atomic bomb. The brakes are out, and a city's in its path. It's a race against time with a fate of millions in the balance. Rob Lowe stars in the NBC movie event Atomic Train next Sunday on NBC. Well, this is the first game in the Western Conference playoffs. We saw the Knicks upset the Heat in Miami in the Eastern tip-off, and here it's the situation in the West. San Antonio will play Minnesota tomorrow. That's the middle game of the triple header on NBC. The Lakers, Houston, that's the third of 3. Utah and Sacramento follows this game, and of course, this is game 1 of the best of 5 between Portland and Phoenix.
And teams 1, 2, 3, and 4, they all want to take care of business in that first game. They want to secure that home court advantage, throw the pressure back the other way, because they all feel that the first game is crucial to surviving the series.
Phoenix has hit 9 of 10 at the free throw line. They've tied it at 34. Wallace. Rasheed Wallace misses from outside. Garrity mistimed his jump, lost the rebound, and Williams can't hit. Cato over the back for the personal foul and slams the ball. That'll be good for a technical foul as well.
An example of emotions right there. And, Dunleavy not happy with Cato's response. Barks at the official, but at the same time trying to get Cato to understand what he has to do.
J.R. Ryder, the steadying force, the peacemaker, the old hand over to talk to Cato. We laugh about that because Ryder has been in Mike Dunleavy's doghouse on several occasions, most notably being late for a game, and Dunleavy saying it had to stop, but as you see Cato slamming the ball and getting the tee. But so far today, J.R. Ryder appears to have his A game. He's played well.
Now, Ryder can be a very, very positive force when he's of a mind to, and these are the playoffs. Remember last year in the first round, he was a driving force against Eddie Jones. His first time in the playoff, wanting to make a statement. I think he wants to back it up with a better statement this year. See if Portland survives the first round and gets into the second.
Phoenix continues to drill the free throws. Garrity hits 2. And the Suns are up 37-34. They're 12 of 13 at the line.
Free throw line has kept them in the ball game and got them on the lead. They're looking for Walt Williams against Rex Chapman. Middle is open. We're going to get a foul against Rex Chapman.
Chapman sprinted to the other end thinking that it was a clear out on Williams. Rex Chapman has been known as a good shooter, but not as a good defensive player.
This is a very difficult matchup for him because Walt Williams is a bigger guy, stronger guy, able to get the center of gravity down, and you can see Rex Chapman thought, what about the hook? Williams misses the first free throw.
Rex's acting needs a little work too, I think. That's what Dick Bavetta just told him. He agreed. Meanwhile, Williams missed the first free throw.
And Chapman is saying, yeah, take me out. As George McLeod runs to the table, Walt Williams misses them both.
And Gugliotta with his 8th rebound. That was Chapman's 2nd foul, by the way. 3 minutes left in the half. There's the free throw situation in this quarter, 11 for 11. And Danny Manning gets to the rim and hits for 10 points, all in the quarter off the Phoenix bench.
When Phoenix has beaten Portland, that's the guy, 15, that's been the difference with his ability to score inside and off the bench. Walt Williams tied up steal. Jason Kidd.
Kidd with a double down and then threw it away. Stoudemire cut off by Manning.
Now, when Portland got their lead early, it was because they were able to get in transition. Late break for Rasheed Wallace. His 2nd field goal of the afternoon.
And that slam by Wallace stops a 7-0 Phoenix run. Just over 2 minutes left till halftime. Suns with the ball up 3. Jason Kidd, they concede the 12-footer, and he hit it. He worked long and hard over the summer on his shot. His wife and their new infant coming to the gym. His wife would rebound, trying to get back in shape as Jason put up shot after shot.
Well, she was getting in good shape then, because he missed a lot.
Walt Williams did not miss that one, his first basket. And it cuts the lead to 3.
Ryder has done a pretty good job in the half court of keeping Kidd in front of him. Kidd misses that deep 3.
But then steps in the passing lane for the interception. Nearly fell down, somehow kept his balance and did not travel. Gugliotta, open shot. There's Kidd again for the rebound. One of the best rebounding guards in the NBA, averaging 6 rebounds a game.
Well, Kidd is one of those guys that does whatever it takes to win, and rebounding right now is one of the things he's bringing to the table for Phoenix.
Garrity with a screen. Chapman goes the other way. Floater, back rim. On the floor, Gugliotta scrapping with it with Ryder, and Ryder wins the battle. 45 seconds till halftime.
Looking at the matchup, Walt Williams against Rex Chapman. Chapman with 2 fouls, 2 hands over the top, Walt Williams.
Portland continues to attack Rex Chapman. And the lead cut to 1. 30 seconds and a half. Garrity. Rebounded by Wallace. Here's the outlet. Stoudemire leads the break. It's 3-on-3.
The coach will back it out. The coach is going nuts over there saying 1-1-1, and the players will say, we had a shot. Forget that, hold it.
They will hold for 1. There's a 1-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Trying to come back to the Walt Williams matchup with Chapman.
Shoots over him, can't hit. Rebounded by Garrity. And they won't get a shot away as the first half comes to a close. It's been a series of runs, first by Portland, an answering one by Phoenix, and then Portland just before halftime. Danny Manning, 10 points off the Phoenix bench, has been huge for the Suns, who hold a 1-point lead at the end of the first half at the Rose Garden in Portland, game 1 of the best-of-5 series. At the end of the first half, it's the Phoenix Suns 41 and the Portland Trail Blazers 40. You're watching the NBA on NBC. The dreadlocks are all over the house. Some of those guys look like they might have a better chance of buying some hair than growing it. In honor of Brian Grant.
You know how long it takes to get dreads, so you better go buy some.
Phoenix scoring its first bucket of the third quarter.
Again, back to the Ryder-Chapman matchup as much as they can. Sabonis on the move, and he wanted a foul, and Luke Longley gets a jump ball. You like to get Sabonis on the move simply because he doesn't like people handling him. Longley does a good job of getting both hands on the ball, so they will jump it at Portland's end.
2 Olympic players formerly, Sabonis for the Soviet Union and for Lithuania, and Longley for Australia. Sabonis, as a member of the Soviet team, took the gold medal in Seoul in 1988. He launches the 3 and hits it. The Big Cat. The Big Cat let some of us pose with that gold medal for some pictures after the basketball venue in Seoul. And the Big Cat gets 6 points. Gugliotta with a 2-point answer for Phoenix.
Well, that's one way to even out the matchup between himself and Grant. Take him outside, pop a few over the top, outside touch returning for him. And Phoenix didn't shoot the ball well in the first half, so Ainge has got to be happy about that sign.
Stoudemire off a screen, the pass right on target, his shot no good. And the rebound by Cliff Robinson. Phoenix re-energized after the timeout, getting untracked. Kidd with a good ball fake. Penetration, the pull-up though is no good. Rasheed Wallace, the carom.
His focus on that shot was more on where Damon Stoudemire was than it really was the basket. Anytime you get a player doing like that, he's not a great perimeter player to begin with, you're probably going to get a miss. Ryder.
JR, tough fall-away shot. Isaiah has 13. He has been clearly focused in today's game, hitting 6 of his 10 shots. Chapman off a screen. Back to Kidd for 3. Jason Kidd, shooting 36% behind the arc in the regular season, now has 9 points.
One of the things that Dunleavy said is you have to outscore the Phoenix Suns. No pun intended, but they've got to be able to continue to make shots, and if they don't, they'll find themselves down on the scoreboard.
Stoudemire for 3. Went out, came back through. Damon Stoudemire. Robinson driving on Grant. Skip pass, saved by Gugliotta. He gets the no-look to Robinson, who drives and scores. Nice play. Googs to Cliff. A 20-point win by the Knicks in Miami. A shocker today.
Yeah, it's either a rude wake-up call or it's the beginning of something very bad for the Miami Heat. But that series has always been very explosive, and Monday night should be a very, very physical game.
Stoudemire called for the travel after he had seen the steal made and then took it back.
In a wild exchange, the Phoenix Suns are able to make something out of a broken play as Gugliotta finds Cliff Robinson on the move. First 2 of the second half for Cliff.
Suns trail by 3. Gugliotta dishes to Longley. Gugliotta once again with the assist. And Longley the finish.
Well, Luke Longley needs somebody to set him up, and Chicago was always Jordan giving him that little base down line shot. Now Gugliotta does the same thing here in Phoenix. Looking for Ryder against Chapman.
5 of their last 6. Ryder dishes off, and a foul called. Cliff Robinson thought he got all ball, but he's assessed the personal. And on Cliff, number 3.
Third personal. And he's in pain. Does not like it. As Wallace will get his first trip to the line. But they are going to go through Ryder to make the defense react, knowing that it's an overpowering matchup as Phoenix has gotten the better of the free throwing in the first half.
And that one bounds off. Tomorrow night on NBC, the manhunt that spanned 2 continents, tracking a celebrity-turned killer based on the true story. NBC movie event, The Hunt for the Unicorn Killer. Tomorrow night, 9, 8 Central, here on NBC. Wallace converts 1 of 2, and the Portland lead is a deuce. Jason Kidd now being checked by Ryder. Robinson. Cliff Robinson, trying to remove that stigma of collapsing in the playoffs, has recorded 9 points for the Suns today.
Solid game for Cliff so far. Again, coming back to Ryder. They're going to get a foul against Rex Chapman.
Chapman trying to fight his way over the top of the screen, has his 3rd foul.
Cliff Robinson using the screen, gets plenty of time, pass in rhythm, knocks down that perimeter jump shot. When Cliff gets to torch, he's one of those players that can go for 15 and a quarter. Ryder knocked away by Chapman.
Portland gets it back with 17 to shoot as Chapman with the reach in to knock the ball away.
Ryder trying to dance with the ball, showed it too soon. Good quick hands by Rex Chapman to get a piece of it. 17 on the shot clock.
Chapman went for the steal and Ryder laid it in.
Well, you never go for the steal if you're the only man with clothes on underneath the basket. Left naked and an easy score. Ryder's got 6 and a quarter.
Excellent shooting on both ends. Gugliotta, nice ball fake. And then blocked by Sabonis. They fill the lanes for Stoudemire, but no one open.
Well, they missed a couple of guys that were open late. Now they'll have to reset coming back to Grant.
Nice backside help from Cliff Robinson, but he fouled him.
The temptation was too much for Rex Chapman. I'm either getting this ball and we're running the other way, or I'm giving up the hoop, and Ryder finishes on the other end. And then it's a big block by Sabonis. Sabonis has really been active defensively for Portland to make the save.
Sabonis with 3 blocks, and Portland has a half dozen.
And Cliff Robinson does not want to leave the ball game, but Danny Manning is going to replace him. Slow walk for Cliff. Manning who was really good in that 12 minutes in the second quarter.
So Robinson sits with 4 fouls, and Manning, who scored 10 off the bench, returns to the floor for the Suns. Grant's free throws make it a 4-point Trailblazer lead. Chapman. Rex Chapman with a quick release. He has 7.
When you're getting beat up at the other end of the floor, the way to get even is to start dealing out some punishment of your own, and Chapman gets his first 2 here. But they've got to get some scoring from him just to kind of neutralize what Ryder is throwing their way. Sabonis on the move.
Took a giant step or 2 to the hoop and laid it through as Longley could only watch. The Big Cat, an all-round game today. He has 8 points. Stoudemire now guarding Chapman.
Chapman's letting this one go.
Didn't matter who was guarding.
He was letting that one go. You just had that feeling he wanted another hoop. Ryder against Kidd.
Wallace for 3. Jason Kidd all along the rebound, pushing it.
Manning wants this matchup, and Ryder's going to try to hold him outside. Gets called for the foul.
Holding is the key word there.
He's pointing to the forearm, but Rex Chapman, when he comes off screens, he's already got the trigger cocked and he's ready to pop, and he does so. And then Sabonis, big steps. It's like he's moving in slow motion, but if you give him enough space, he does a slow waltz, but he's been very effective.
We mentioned that gold medal for the Soviet team before switching to his native Lithuanian team after the breakup of the Soviet Union, as another Chapman miss. Sabonis playing against Danny Manning, who was on that U.S. team that could manage only the bronze medal in Seoul in 1988.
Tom, how did you get Sabonis' gold medal?
Had to give it back to him, Steve. He was a little too big to argue with. But he did let us take a picture with it around the neck, and very cordial.
Ryder, 8 in the quarter, wanted a foul to go with it. He was posting Jason Kidd that time. Danny Ainge wants a timeout.
Mike Dunleavy was worried about the focus of his leading scorer, J.R. Ryder. Worry no longer. He's hit 4 in a row. He has 17 in the game.
And you can tell from his body language that he's in it. He thought he had waited long enough to get hand 1. They say no, but he's trying to bring the house with him. But he's been an awfully effective player this afternoon, blocking shots, scoring the basketball, rebounding the ball. But everyone has a flashback and says, you should have seen him when he was 19. If he can do those things now, imagine. And they all want to put him in the group of great centers of all time. The matchup between himself and Longley, he's winning that one.
That's what Mike Dunleavy said. He first saw him at 19 years old, and he was a tremendous player. He's been an international player since he was a 15-year-old. Now 34. Manning lays it in, and let's check in with Paul Sunderland. Paul?
Well, during the last timeout, Danny Ainge decided to go with a very small lineup, and Pat Garrity now gets the luxury of guarding Arvydas Sabonis. And he got a lot of advice from Joe Klein. We'll see if it plays off here. But Joe Klein came over and said, try to keep him out of the paint. We'll double down and dive as fast as we can. Danny Ainge feeling maybe this game getting away. Wanted to really change things up and go with a small lineup. Back to you guys.
You can tell he talked to Joe Klein because it was foul, foul, and foul.
There's Joe. Joe, of course, you remember that sight when he had the 30 stitches after being hit by a Karl Malone elbow. I saw him warming up before the game. I said, you okay? You're all healed up? And he said, yes, I'm beautiful again. Sabonis nails the free throws. Arvydas Sabonis speaks 5 languages, but it's almost like he likes to trick you. He pretends like he doesn't speak English all the time, understanding everything that's going on.
And he does, and you know, people will say things, and he'll look like he doesn't know. But I think that's his practical joker nature. McLeod, another 3-point field goal,
and a tough one for George with Ryder right in his face. McLeod with 8 points, and the Phoenix bench continues to be their most efficient unit today.
Coming back to Sabonis, you know they're going to have to give help. Bad pass that time. Nice play by Manning to step in.
Here's Garrity getting it from McLeod, and McLeod for 3. Grant beats Gugliotta for the rebound. 2 minutes plus, and a traveling call, a carry and a travel called against Stoudemire.
Phoenix does a good job of finding George McLeod standing, waving out on the perimeter, and he makes good on that lunge, and Phoenix needed a hoop. Coming back to Danny Manning. Wallace.
Rasheed Wallace got a piece of it. Scramble. Jump ball called. A heated scrum on the floor after that loose ball, and the fans applaud the effort.
Manning with that little jump hook. Wallace expands and extends and gets a piece of it, then comes back, knocks it out of McLeod's hand. They go to the floor. The jump ball between McLeod and Wallace.
Yeah.
No, they're saying Ryder. So if you're Portland, you're looking where they might tip and try to gamble. McLeod got up first, but it's Ryder who controls the count.
And Stoudemire racing to the other end. Kidd got back to deflect the ball.
And we'll find out about the patience of Portland here in the half court. Sabonis has got the best matchup. They come back to Wallace. That's a tough shot.
Very tough. Rasheed Wallace. 7 points in the game for Rasheed. Portland, as usual, very balanced scoring attack. They lead it by 5. Just under a minute and a half remaining in the third. Manning drives on Sabonis. Back to Gugliotta, stripped away by the big man. Stoudemire has Ryder on the wing. JR. And a loose ball foul called on Sabonis, who tosses the ball. Let's see if that'll get him teed up.
Well, it's not the same as slamming the ball as Cato did.
It's much gentler.
Yeah, you see Wallace, and this is a really tough shot. Body going away from the hoop, and he's thinking, man, I needed to have a foul on that play. Ryder with the fadeaway. He thought he was going to get it. The big arm of Sabonis actually came over Grant, his own man.
They let Grant shoot free throws if that had been in the penalty. Grant took the worst of it from his own teammate, but Sabonis called for the foul.
They post Kidd and come back to Garrity.
And a 3-second violation against the Suns. That's their 8th turnover. Portland has turned it over 12 times.
You hear Danny Ainge in the background. He just showed up. You got to be kidding me. He wasn't in there 3 seconds.
40 seconds left in the quarter.
They send Ryder down in the post.
Ryder with a dunk to Cato. Missed it. Gugliotta hits the deck. Cato missing again, and Manning clears for Phoenix. Manning the trailer. That'll be a charging foul. Manning trailing the play, got the pass a little out of control, and is called for charging.
Like that atomic train that we're talking about, that movie, that lane opened up, and all of a sudden, I can't stop. Cato with a nice play, and the Trailblazers get a break here, and will hold for the final shot of the quarter. Walt Williams coming into the ball game. Cato goes down, and this is purely an offensive move by Dunleavy right now. Want to score. And Randy Livingston in the game defensively for Danny Ainge.
Atomic train, huh? You know Manning's knees could be radioactive after all those operations. Phoenix has turned the ball over 4 times in the last 2 minutes. And here in the closing seconds of the third, Portland with a chance to add to its lead. Stoudemire jump stop, kicks it back outside. Williams had it stripped away by Livingston as the quarter comes to a close. Danny Manning has given Phoenix a lift off the bench today. But Isaiah Rider has found his shooting touch, hitting 8 of his 13 shots, a game-high 17 points. And at the end of 3 points off their bench.
As we take a look at Rider, who has been positively positive in this ball game and talking to Walt Williams before he came out to say this is what you got to do to be a factor. The difference in the quarter, the Trailblazers got to the free throw line. They were 5 of 6, 5-point differential on the scoreboard, Portland on top.
So after trailing by 1 at halftime, outscoring the Suns by 6 in the quarter to take the lead. Livingston missing the turnaround. Stoudemire pushes the ball, gives it up to Wallace. Pull-up shot, no good. And rebounded by McLeod of the Phoenix Suns. Manning, McLeod, Livingston, Robinson, and Garrity on the floor for Phoenix.
Looking to post Jason Kidd and didn't make the defense react. Kidd's got to realize Livingston's not that big a time to score as they drop it inside to Garrity right at the rim. It'll be and 1.
Pat Garrity made a good catch with Jackson getting a hand in there trying to deflect it. Pounded it home and will shoot a free throw.
And it all started with the post. Robinson then drives it. The defense reacts to that. And Garrity's right in the slot. Will pick up a chance for a free throw to bring it to a 2-point ball game. Stoudemire out of the ball game. Greg Anthony coming in.
And Garrity at the free throw line, the rookie who was the Big East Player of the Year for Notre Dame and twice made the All-Big East team. Averaging 23 points a game as a senior, which was 6th in NCAA basketball. First free throw this half for the Phoenix Suns, who hit 12 of 13 in the first half. It comes in the opening minute of the 4th quarter.
Now Garrity is guarding Wallace, and what Wallace has to do is make sure, A, he just takes his time. He can get a shot anytime he wants. Another foul against Garrity. This is not a good matchup for Garrity.
And for Pat Garrity, that is personal foul number 3.
Joe Klein giving him the subtle nuances and how to get the body in front. Came over to get slide over.
Trouble is, he'll say, put your nose in front there. That's the way it looked like when he had that battle with Karl Malone.
They had Wallace on the box, couldn't get the pass to him. It sails out of bounds. Phoenix with a turnover.
Suns trying to scrap their way back in it. They only trail by 2. Anthony checking Livingston. Robinson. Pat Garrity couldn't get the roll. Fighting for the rebound. Grant taps it out. Jackson has it for Portland. Stolen by McLeod. He can't convert, but he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, this play tells you that the officials are going to let the players decide the outcome of this in the 4th quarter. As Jackson had the ball, he felt he got held by George McLeod as he's bringing the ball up the floor. Watch McLeod attack, reach right in there, grab, and then hold that separation.
Foul was the 3rd on Jackson as McLeod hits the first free throw. Coming up tonight, playoff action on TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks. Playoff basketball on TNT tonight. Of course, one more to go here on NBC with the Utah Jazz and Sacramento Kings following our game from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Dick Enberg and Bill Walton, the big redhead, and Jim Gray are standing by to bring you the broadcast of that one. I heard you say you missed the big redhead today.
It's because I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
We'll rejoin him in San Antonio as Williams holds the 3 fingers up to signify the 3-point bucket. He has 7.
Both teams like to shoot the 3-point field goal, and Phoenix has had the better of it this afternoon as Williams rings the bell for Portland's second 3 of the day.
Manning forced that one. Bad shot, fall away under pressure.
Steal
McLeod. Yeah, McLeod with another theft. And 1. Well, George McLeod is very active offensively. offensively and defensively now for the Suns, keeping them in the game.
And the worst thing is George McLeod's not noted for stealing balls, but he has been active, and that has helped Phoenix stay in this ball game. But Walt Williams gives Portland a little bit of breathing room with that deep three.
You're watching the NBA on NBC. Them within one. He has 12 points in the game.
Yeah, 4 in the quarter, both of them coming off aggressive defensive reaction plays. So I'm sure they're telling him take care of the ball. Walt Williams trying to get back-to-back hoops. McLeod rebound.
Yeah, who else but McLeod, who gathers in the rebound. And now Portland trying to hold off the charging Suns. Shocker in the Miami Arena today to open the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Allen Houston's pretty well. Very big, along with Marcus Camby in that ball game.
Gugliotta posting Williams. The double team comes. Kidd for three. Long rebound. McLeod saves it, but right to Greg Anthony of Portland.
Looking for Wallace.
They've got him. Cut off, though. Back outside Anthony. Over the top, Robinson deflects it out of bounds. Portland retains with 12 to shoot.
Well, Wallace had the position but didn't go to the ball. That's what allowed Cliff Robinson to get around and get a piece of it. When you work that hard to get the ball on the post, you also got to hop out there and meet it once it goes in the air.
Gugliotta nearly deflected the ball from Cato.
Watch out.
To the basket, can't score. Here's Kidd with a lob pass for Robinson. Finally tracks it down before it gets out of bounds. McLeod for three. George McLeod has been on fire for the Phoenix Suns, offense and defense. He has 15 points, and the Suns have captured the lead by 2.
7 points in the quarter for George McLeod.
First lead for Phoenix since halftime.
Now, they've done a good job of keeping Wallace out of the play. They finally feed him the ball. Cliff Robinson was there in front, and they're going to... Jason Kidd put his hand up.
But Cliff Robinson will get the foul. Nope, they did give it to Kidd. Good job. There's the McLeod three, which put Phoenix on top.
The crowd reacts here. They thought it was Cliff Robinson all the way. They want him out of the ball game. Dunleavy's saying the same thing, and he wants a timeout.
So Portland takes a timeout. George McLeod has them reeling. The NBA on NBC.
And has it out. New 24.
Phoenix is outscored to Portland 10-3 in the quarter. Jackson is fouled on the pass from Sabonis.
And Jim Jackson has said, look, do you guys know when a player's in the act of shooting or not? I grabbed my hand, I'm on the way to the rim, and you're giving me the ball out on the side again? 2 times Portland feels they've been robbed, which means now they got to get their focus back and not worry about how the officials work the game, but finish the play. That is 3 straight fouls against the Phoenix Suns. All of these fouls mean one thing for Portland, though. You're headed toward the penalty. Right. You got to keep driving the ball. You got to be aggressive in it. You watch the Jackson call right here. McLeod's got a hold of him before he can ever get it up. So who says 6 eyes aren't better than 2?
That's right. Here's Sabonis. Low block, draws the double. Jackson for 3. Jim Jackson puts the Trailblazers back on top by 1. Danny Manning outside shot and a beauty. The M squad, Manning and McLeod off the Phoenix bench, have been the story for the Suns.
Huge story and a big difference. And Trailblazers, normally the leader in bench scoring, haven't been that way this afternoon. Mishandled by Williams and Grant, and it's a turnover. Phoenix and Gugliotta with the ball.
Kidd will set it up on the half court. 4 turnovers this quarter by the Trailblazers. There's one by the Suns. It leads to the run out by Jackson. Right back the other way, numbers for the Suns. Gugliotta, fake, drive, couldn't finish. He's on the floor.
Sabonis got hit in the face, and he went into one of those momentary pauses. Jackson open for 3. Short.
Air ball.
No, Bill would have said that was a pass.
Well, it was to Gugliotta if it was, and he promptly throws it into the first row. Helter-skelter basketball on both ends.
It is the Wild Wild West as they pop this one back out to Jim Jackson for a much-needed infusion of offense for Jackson and the Trailblazers. They get a turnover as Sabonis knocks it out, and Jackson on the fly. 5 straight points for Jim Jackson before a miss.
Williams attacking Manning. Deflected out of bounds. Portland's ball, 8 to shoot.
Gugliotta agrees with the official about the bad pass. So what about the foul? You know, Sabonis knocked me down. Somebody knocked me down. I don't miss a layup like that. Ryder getting ready to come back in the ball game. Wallace coming back in the ball game.
You just can't satisfy anybody, can you?
These are the playoff times.
That's right, playoff time. Walt Williams with a walk to the bench, and Jim Jackson will join him. Low block, Grant fires over Gugliotta. McLeod up for the rebound.
That time Grant just a little bit too quick, realizing he's been having a good afternoon against Gugliotta. Wanted that hoop, but rushed his shot.
McLeod, he's been the man. That one, though, no good. And gathered by Grant. 8 rebounds for Brian Grant, the Blazers' leading board man on the season.
Ryder's over there talking to McLeod and telling him, get off me.
Lob pass to Grant. Tried to make a touch pass to Wallace, and a jump ball is called. I think it was McLeod that tied up Wallace.
Tight pass inside to Wallace, and he's having a tough time controlling it. Both hands on top. And again, a good play by the officials, and Wallace reacts. Is he the mummy?
Portland controls the tap. Kidd almost got it away from Grant. Ryder somehow evaded Danny Manning to get his 19th point.
And when Ryder's right, you understand why he can be such a threat.
9 of 14 shooting for him today. Portland leads by 3. Robinson against Sabonis. Launches a 3. Grant, second consecutive rebound.
Ryder's telling Sabonis, get over there. You got Cliff Robinson on you. Ryder at the rim. Lost control of the ball.
And it's going to be ruled Phoenix basketball.
Got in there, did everything right, and as he started to go up, lost control of the ball. But this is a Ryder score that gave Portland a little momentum and got the crowd happy. But this play is a very typical play of Ryder, and the athletic ability just to elude the defense and somehow get a finish. Ryder has a high degree of difficulty in his offensive game, and he can finish plays where a lot of Trailblazers cannot. And when he's right, the Trailblazers need him out on the floor. He has been right this afternoon, giving them a 3-point lead with 5:01 to go.
He's been the easy rider today, 9 of 15, 19 points. Meanwhile, Phoenix has gone 2.5 minutes without a score.
Turnover.
Ryder with a steal from Gugliotta. That's 3 turnovers and 0 for 2 shooting over the last 2.5 minutes plus.
Going to go an exchange between Sabonis and Ryder, but looking for Ryder for 3.
And a loose ball foul is called on the Suns.
Looks like an eclipse of the Suns right now with mistakes and calls going against him, and Danny Ainge. Ooh, my stomach is upset.
Third foul on George McLeod. Remember the big free throw shooting half that Phoenix had. They've shot only 4 in the second half.
Now that was a tight effort by Grant. Knowing the situation, a little bit of separation might be enough to get the win.
Game 3 of the playoff triple-header coming up next. The Sacramento Kings and the Utah Jazz, the defending Western Conference champions. That'll come up at the conclusion of this game one.
Wallace and Ryder calling for the crowd.
Kidd penetrates the pull-up off glass. Jason Kidd, he has 11.
Kidd saying you shouldn't have done that. I'll get him quiet. Nice, tough bank shot.
Anthony being guarded by Kidd.
Trying to come to Sabonis against Cliff Robinson. 9 on the shot clock. Sabonis having a tough time getting across the middle. 5.
Anthony got it away. Rebounded by McLeod. Dangerous pass caught by Kidd, but Portland's back on defense. Gugliotta against Grant. Spins baseline. Dishes to McLeod for 3. And Sabonis collars the rebound. 8 boards for Arvydas. On the other end, J.R. Ryder. 21 today for Ryder. Jason Kidd for 3. Air ball.
Even though they slowed the pace down, that was a perfect time for Portland to push the play. The Suns deflated after the miss. Now Portland gives them a chance to set up. They're going to come back to Ryder, who has carried them here in the fourth.
Sabonis with a spin draws the foul, and a reaction from Cliff Robinson.
Ryder was sprinting to the other end of the floor to get to this spot, feeling the torch in his hand. The reaction, big heart.
Meanwhile, Cliff Robinson, the former Blazer, has just picked up his 5th foul with 2:57 remaining in the game.
That is a tough matchup, though. I mean, Sabonis is a huge load, and Cliff was trying to make a play on the ball. Thought he got it. Sabonis, with a pretty good acting job, gets his first free throw.
And hits the 2. Put them in the books as Robinson's playoff woes continue. Portland on a 9-2 run. Open shot, Gugliotta. Came up short.
Ryder with the rebound, and the crowd now sensing a chance to get that first victory, really up on their feet.
Blazers with the ball, leading by 6.
Trying to come to Ryder against Jason Kidd down in the box.
Kidd over the top, commits the foul.
It is a love-hate relationship when you have Ryder on the team this afternoon. It's all love.
Oh, nothing but love today. Ryder made the comment before the series that Phoenix couldn't guard us. And Joe Klein took exception to that. He said, you know, instead of worrying about our defense, you ought to be worrying about what time the shoot-around is for the Trailblazers. Klein had the bar, but Ryder had the answer with his game today. He knew not only what time the shoot-around was, he knew when it was game time. He was a little late coming out for warm-ups. We were scratching our head wondering, has he missed the boat again? Nope, he was right on the money today. Gugliotta.
They call a foul, a late call against Tom Gugliotta, but a good one. And with a little bit of an acting job from Greg Anthony, a pained expression. Gugliotta coming over. He's going to give him a little pop. Whenever Anthony feels any kind of pressure, he's going to take a dive. Watch.
Gugliotta moving into him and being assessed the personal foul. Now Chapman has returned to the game, and he and Kidd applying a little backcourt pressure. Under 2 minutes to play.
Even though it's an 8-point advantage, Portland cannot just get static with the basketball. 6 on the shot clock. They got to be aggressive in trying to score. Sabonis.
Skyhook tapped in by Grant. Timeout, Phoenix.
give Portland a 10-point advantage, and they feel that they have sealed the deal for Game 1.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
The Trailblazers trying to keep the pressure on the defense of the Suns and Cliff Robinson as Sabonis has the broom in his hand and sweeps the hook across. And it's a little bit short, but it's right on the money for Grant to get good rebounding position. It dances on the rim. Grant is inside Gugliotta, and it's a 10-point advantage for Portland.
Since Danny Manning gave Phoenix a 73-72 lead, the Suns have just one field goal and 4 turnovers in almost 6 minutes and have been outscored 13-2.
But the Suns are dangerous. They're a deep, quick-shooting three-point team. Robinson for 3.
Chapman the rebound. His follow shot good. Rex Chapman has 9 points.
And Jason Kidd trying to foul, trying to make sure that they get enough time for maybe Rex Chapman to make his magic and presence felt out on the floor here in 122.
Chapman had a memorable effort in a 3 overtime game against the Trailblazers, hitting an off-balance 3 to put it into OT, and then I think hit the winning free throws as well.
You know, this is a very, very dangerous guy who makes shots from crazy positions all over the floor. Anthony, and we just had a shot of Damon Stoudemire on the bench. Of course, he's not happy sitting there. He'll be happy with the results, but they've got tough matchup problems for him against Kidd. So take the win, figure out how to live another day.
I think his agent doesn't like that either, as I read the Portland newspapers. For all the sacrifice that Portland players have made this season, that was one small crack of dissension appearing. Jason Kidd, tough shot, and one.
You know, and this is what makes the Suns most dangerous. When you think you've got them down, the game is over. All of a sudden, when they couldn't score, they can score in the most difficult situation. Kidd, a head of steam coming up, attacking Wallace. Gets it left hand to go in, and he'll have a chance for a free throw.
Jason shooting for his 14th point. He has 7 assists and 3 rebounds.
5 in the quarter for Kidd. They're going to trap.
7-point game.
Portland's got Jackson in, so if they do foul and Kidd's going to foul Grant, they got some people in that can make free throws.
Brian Grant is an excellent free throw shooter, about 81% in the regular season. Led Portland with 17 double-doubles. Former all-rookie player in his years, 3 of them in Sacramento.
Danny Ainge is gambling that 81% is not 81% under pressure if the game means something. Grant shot 2 free throws earlier, came up with 1 of 2, and the game was tight. That one dances in. All of his free throws are touching iron right now.
As a team, the Trailblazers have made 8 free throws in a row. They come into the game tied for 9th in the NBA at 74.3%. Phoenix is the 5th best free throw shooting team.
Got away from
no good. Just over a minute remaining. Chapman. Air ball. And a foul of Ryder as he takes the rebound.
There's always been a telling point in the ball games between Portland and Phoenix in which Portland has been able to get some separation and make the difference in the ball game. We just went through a 5-minute period when Portland was the better team, led by Ryder, who got them to big baskets, and he's got that happy feeling, Tom.
Yeah, I guess so. He may be early for practice tomorrow.
Don't get carried away.
Danny Manning had a sparking effort off the Phoenix bench. But with 58 seconds left, Ryder can give Portland a 10-point lead, and he does. Timeout, Phoenix. The Portland Trailblazers trying to take game 1 in this best-of-5 series. Back after these messages from your 5 series against the Phoenix Suns.
The lead is 10, but it has been a 2, 3, 4-point ball game most of this afternoon. The Suns feel that they've done a lot of things right and have something to build on for game 2. And Portland feels very good about getting a nervous game 1 out of the way.
Game 2 will be Monday here in Portland before the series switches to Phoenix.
Phoenix is still looking for a three. Jason Kidd.
He got it. Three-pointer by Jason Kidd, who now has 17 points and 7 assists.
8 of them here in the fourth as Jackson having trouble getting it in. Calls a timeout.
So the full-court pressure defense from the Phoenix Suns forces a Portland timeout with 47.8 seconds left, and the Blazers up by 7.
Yeah, Portland wants a 20-second timeout. What they're going to discount, 15 on the clock.
Playing keep away now. Chapman is mugging Grant and can't get a call.
You know, players are funny because they say, what does it take in the obvious situation that I'm fouling? And then when I get fouled and the game means something, I can't get a call. George McLeod talking to the officials along with Tom Gugliotta as Robinson fouls out. They're saying, look, we need time. You know we're going to foul.
Right in front of us, Rex Chapman had Grant in a half Nelson. They couldn't get the call, and finally they nailed Robinson, who fouls out. What about Cliff Robinson's mindset now? Everybody talks about that playoff swoon he has annually. Here he is again, a subpar game in Game 1. Is that going to really play on his mind?
Well, I don't think that Cliff got enough shots, but I think he was a very effective player for Phoenix. I think it's more critical when you say Cliff is not.
This time he hits them both. 10 points, 8 in the quarter for Jim Jackson. And Danny Ainge will call one more timeout. He comes with 32.5 seconds left. And the Trailblazers looking good, up by 10 today.
Well, the one thing that was answered is the value of the home court for the Trailblazers. They worked real hard to get it. So we take a look at Sabonis, who had a terrific all-around game for Portland. They got to have the home court advantage. They get the first win. Certainly a lot of pressure's off. The last 2 years they went down to Los Angeles. They played good ball games, but they lost all 4 of them and came back, were able to win Game 3 and get closed out. And they did not want to be in that situation. That was one of their goals at the start of this season.
So after sweeping the Suns in the regular season, they're about to take their 4th victory over Phoenix in this abbreviated campaign. They did it with a 13-2 run here in the 4th quarter over a 6-minute stretch. That put them in control of the game.
Turnovers and missing shots as Jason Kidd looks for another 3. They're going to foul Jackson again. But
Garrity, got him.
You know, but that was a difference in that stretch where Portland went 13-2. They got the Suns to make mistakes with the ball. They were able to cash in, ride the hot hand of Ryder, and now Dunleavy can sit down and Danny Ainge can start thinking about what do I got to change between Game 1 and 2.
Some things they did well, staying on the boards, preventing the putbacks for the most part by Portland. They just went through that dry stretch in the 4th quarter.
You see what Portland has been able to come up with either via trade or free agency, and they've been able to come up with all the lottery picks that make this a very dangerous team. Why do we have the lottery? Those guys are supposed to be special players.
Portland has shot 18 free throws, hitting 15 in this quarter. Gugliotta hits the layup. Googs now has 12 points.
Suns haven't stopped. They knocked that one off the leg of Ryder. Ryder saying, well, what about Jason Kidd holding me?
11.6 seconds left.
I love coaches, though. What is it, 10-point game? We never give up.
That's right. Chapman launches. Second consecutive air ball for Rex, whose shooting problems have extended into this game, as they have been all season. Rex only 3 of 12 as Game 1 comes to a close. The Portland Trailblazers beat the Phoenix Suns in Game 1 of their opening round series. The final score, Portland 95 and Phoenix 85. The leading scorer, J.R. Ryder, who finishes with 25 points. Again, the final score is 95-85. For Steve Jones and Paul Sunderland, Tom Hammond saying so long. Now let's go to Salt Lake City for the Kings and the Jazz.
That will be a key. Portland, though, bigger at every position. As you see our officials, Hugh Hollins, Jimmy Clark.